All right, you guys, we are tuned in to the Shady Ass Tea right here on hot7025fm.com. How y'all feeling out there? It's a brand new Risky Ass Tuesday, and as we do each and every Tuesday, we deliver the Shady Ass Tea. Sir, what's the tea?
Am, am I coming in clear?
You are coming in loud and clear. I can hear you.
Can they hear me in the back though?
Oh, oh, can y'all hear him in the back? Yes,
They
I
can.
wrote a song about it. Like to hear it, here it go.
I'm so happy to be back. It feels good to be home.
It sure does. Goodness
Lord.
gracious. It's been quite an interesting couple of weeks. Okay. We took a little short, unplanned
Hi.
hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
But we out here. We
We are
in these
here. Your
streets.
hair looks
So
really good, by the way.
oh well thank you. You know, I do what I can, I do what I can, you know.
She looks good today.
What's the word with you? What's going on? What is the shady ass tea all about?
Okay. So I have to start everything. The world stopped today when Noriega was talking to Trick Daddy. The
About
world stopped.
about getting ate out?
Yes. Okay. So here's my thing. I've been married. I was married 11 years. And if you've been, and beyond that, I've been on this earth 36. If you having sex at all after junior high school, you doing more than just laying on your back or laying on your, you know what I'm saying? Like you doing other shit. So I think I was a little shocked that people were shocked that Trick Daddy was getting his ass ate. Like I was confused by the
You
by
know,
the
you
by the
know what's
shock.
confusing to me about the whole thing
Mhm.
is that men are still saying that they're not
They
really
don't
here
do
for
it.
it. I'm like, why y'all lying?
Y'all are lying.
Why don't you just say that you like, you know, a little booty play and call it a day? I
It's
don't
your
get it.
booty. It's your booty. Do whatever you want to do with it. Can nobody tell
It's
you what to do
the
with your booty?
it's the whole thing about they want to make it seem like I don't know, like they're like it's a gay thing, and it's not. I'm like it's in your ass, and it's
Mhm.
your woman that's doing
Right,
it. It doesn't that
right,
doesn't make it gay. Okay,
right.
so I mean, you know that,
You
but
see, I feel like that idea really makes enjoying sex very very hard. Like or like
because
enjoying
in the
sex
back
without
of your
shame.
head, you're
Yeah,
like I'm from a male perspective. In the back of your head, you're thinking
yeah,
like, "Dang, am I supposed to like feel like this? Am I
right,
supposed? Is this gay? Do I like this? Or you know what I mean?
right.
Like,
But it's your
yeah,
body. Like
right."
like it's your body. So if you like your ass eaten, if you like your nipples played with, if you like your feet licked, those are things that you enjoy. Don't let anybody make you feel bad about enjoying sex. Saying like I feel like the church and black people, the black church specifically, has made it a point to make you feel as bad as you can about sex.
So I decided I've been trying to come up with this idea of because I want to do a whole new series on the podcast that I
Uh-huh.
have now called Time to Explain, and I
Uh-huh.
just came up like it just came to me earlier that
Okay.
I think I'm going to title this first series of it the Holy Trauma or uh the Holy Trauma or
Interview me.
yeah, you will be because there's traumas that have been added to us
Yes.
from being in church and things that we
Yeah.
think about constantly when we're
Hmm.
trying to enjoy ourselves or the people
Right.
that we love, the people that
I
we're
mean,
with. It's
human.
like it's
Right.
subconscious,
Yeah. Absolutely. 100%. And
right?
I think what was most disheartening about people's reaction to Trick Daddy being honest about the things that he enjoys, I think was black women's response to him saying that he get his ass eaten. They was like, "Oh, that's some gay shit." And
I think it's the way he said it. Like
he
I'm
get ate out.
get ate out, but I guess it's
He
the
get,
same. It's the
it's the
same, right?
same. And he said, "You gonna do with your legs?" Like he said, "Depends. If I'm on my back, like I don't understand why there's like this idea that a man can't enjoy sex in this way. Like women are able to enjoy sex in a way, are allowed to enjoy sex in a way that men are not allowed to enjoy
I
sex.
don't think, but the thing is, I think that brings us back to the holy trauma.
Yeah.
I think that there's definitely some things based off of what we were taught in
Hmm.
church that
Yes.
keeps us from being able to 100% enjoy ourselves, and I
Yeah.
think that that sucks.
It
It
does.
really does.
Ass.
No pun, right?
No pun intended. It does suck ass though. But yeah, I don't know. Like there are things that I think you should be able to enjoy sexually, especially when you're with a consenting adult. Like he's not saying that he got kids eating his ass. I think that, and I was talking to somebody earlier, and they were saying that their shock was more that it was Trick Daddy than it was he was getting his ass. It wasn't
The
the
thing
act.
is, I think Trick Daddy has been having that conversation about the whole ass eating thing for quite some time, which is why he started a club. You know what I mean?
An actual club?
Yeah. There's a club. It's a club. It's a club.
Is there a membership fee?
I'm not aware.
I don't need no more subscriptions. Never mind.
but I do think that there's certain situations where it's like we think about things. Oh, we overthink things, and especially men when it has to do anything with their ass. I'm like, yo, your body was created with your G spot in your ass. I don't know how we end up talking about ass and G spots every week, but it is what it is. Somebody brings up some ass.
Because
I guess
you know why? Because we are trailblazers. We're
pioneers
talked about
in this radio community to go ahead and get in the conversation about assholes.
It really needs to be talked about. Like, I think people are thinking about Trick Daddy bent over with his hand on the girl head, like, grinding her face. Like, maybe not think about it like that. Maybe just think about yourself and how you enjoy your ass eating.
Right.
And if the woman you're with doesn't eat your ass, maybe she should.
Yeah. We don't know what it is, but maybe she should. Keep talking though. Tell us some more good stuff.
So Summer Walker went live talking about London on the Track, her baby daddy. And he got two other baby mamas, I think, an Ebony and a something else. Of course, he got an Ebony as a baby, and I love all women named Ebony. This is not shade to any woman named Ebony. I love all women named Ebony. Okay,
all of them.
Out there, all of them. Everyone named Ebony. I love you.
Okay.
And so she's saying that his baby mamas, now that she's not with him, his baby mamas and him are threatening her and sending her hate via social media. Because she went on a date, and now she's saying that he's a deadbeat, and the other two baby moms are saying that they're not. And before the situation, before she broke up with London on the Track, the other baby moms were saying he was a deadbeat. And so now they're like, no, you crazy, you acting crazy. She was eating out of a fucking dustpan.
Not a dustpan, like a real dustpan?
A real dustpan, like from the Dollar Tree. Like a white dustpan. She put her food, she was like, oh, no plate, because she had no dishes. I'm not sure why she doesn't have dishes, but she doesn't have any dishes, and she was eating out of a white dustpan, and she went live and talking about they stalking her and they need to leave her alone. Now that she done gave him back, they need to leave her alone. And the baby mamas they all went live and posted on their stories and the whole situation, the whole gig. And all I can think to myself is, if I was London on the Track, if I was that man, I would go pick up my kid. I would repossess my children, so I ain't got to deal with the baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? Like,
repossess them though.
I would go repossess my children.
Not repossessing the children though.
Mm-hmm. Because at this point, he's paying a note on these kids. Like, you paying child support, you paying whatever you paying to these women. If you go repossess them, you ain't got to pay that no more. They can stay with you. I'm just saying. You go pick your kids.
Is that how this works, sir?
You go pick your kids up. Okay. If you got the money, you go pick your kids up. They come live with you, and you maintain their lifestyle in your home, and you ain't got to deal with a baby mama. Because what am I giving her money for if I can take care of my own kids? I'm not doing that.
Ooh.
I'm not doing that. I think that's the problem. Oh, baby mama. They're your kids though. Pick your fucking kids up, and you ain't got to deal with the crazy baby mamas. Let them be crazy and let them broke over there, and they ain't got to be eating off of you.
Okay.
Just saying.
It takes one to know one, right? Meanwhile, the little children go come out of the room in the back.
Right. Meanwhile, there's a child in this room and 3 downstairs, and I'm taking care of all of them. Okay. So I don't I'm not speaking. I'm not talking about somebody I heard. I'm talking about somebody I know.
Oh, you better tell them. Talk your shit.
That's all I'm saying. So yeah, but and so she kind of crazy though. Summer Walker's out of her mind a little bit, and the other
I
baby
mean,
mama.
she's expressed several times that she has some mental health issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure they have been heightened throughout this pandemic. Plus, she might be experiencing some postpartum. Who
Yeah,
knows?
that's a thing.
Yeah,
Postpartum is a
yeah,
real thing that not that I've experienced, but that I have
a
had
real one.
the benefit of seeing being experienced. Like I
Hmm.
haven't directly experienced. I never had a baby, but I have
Hmm.
experienced somebody with postpartum, so I understand that it's a actual thing, and there's no like time limit for it. There's not like a book on how you handle it. So it's a hard thing to cope with,
Right,
especially on your own.
right. Agreed.
And I couldn't imagine having to deal with it and be like famous and having to go live and address crazy baby mamas while you're dealing with postpartum and eating out of a dustpan. So I feel like that's a lot.
I'm really unclear about the dustpan situation, but we can go ahead and go past that because
Oh,
I'm good.
oh, oh. Can y'all see me? This thing
You can see
and try to
me.
fall out on me. This thing
Don't
and
fall
passed out
out.
on me. The light then passed out on me. It's like, oh, that was too much. All right. So we're gonna follow up on the baby.
Okay.
Okay, so he met with HIV people who are living with HIV. I say HIV people, it makes me sound like a crazy old person. He met with people who are living with HIV.
11 was it 11 organizations or were there physically 11 people? Because
Um,
I was thrown off.
I want to say there were 9. Oh, was it
Oh,
9
okay.
assholes? There were 9 people on the panel. Maybe in the 11 organizations, I think there were 9 people on the panel
Okay, got it.
that were currently living with HIV and educating him about HIV, that it's not a death sentence. It's not, you can live with HIV and not transmit it to anybody. If you're living healthy, if it's not a detectable, if you don't have a detectable rate of it, you can actually have unprotected sex and not transmit it. If you are on PrEP or which is pre-exposure prophylactics, or PEP, which is post-exposure prophylactics, you can have unprotected sex with somebody who has HIV and not transmit it. So he was just getting educated on it.
Right,
I
and it
think
was
it's really
9. It was 9.
it was not. It was, look at me
Nine,
remembering.
8. Right, 9 HIV awareness organizations.
I remember properly. Come on, y'all. I didn't even write that down. I just thought it and I was like, I like 9. No, it's a multiple of 3. But I think it's important not only that he be educated about it, but that like just people in general understand like HIV is not a
A gay
death sentence.
person's disease,
Yeah, it's
or
not one. It's
or
not a gay
or
person's disease.
right. I think that's the part that's so important for
Yeah.
him to understand because of the way that he boxed in the whole statement that he made it in,
Hmm.
essentially. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it kind of made it seem like, okay, men on men, somebody out here suck a dick, and then
HIV.
HIV was all in the same box. And I think that it was important for him to understand, but you can't say shit like that. And it's not.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the way that you clumped it together, he may very well have thought that. That is,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that he may have thought something like that to be true, but
Yeah.
I think that he definitely needed to be um, spoken to about it and educated.
Yeah.
I don't think he needed to be canceled. I just think he needed to be educated.
I don't. I don't think it needed to be canceled. I legitimately do not think that is a healthy way for our society to like deal with things. Like if someone says something that look about to die, excuse me.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then, Red Bull.
If like I feel like there's this idea that if somebody disagrees with you, that or they say something that is against popular opinion or is uninformed, that we should just stop talking about this person entirely and get them out of here. And I'm like, I don't think that that's a healthy way
Now,
to have
Boosie,
discourse.
he canceled from the LGBTQ AI community. He canceled from the whole community.
Why?
He's canceled from the community. This dude was on the Breakfast Club the other day, and he
With
says,
Flame Monroe?
he was there. They were there together at the same
Okay.
time, and they did communicate. Flame was trying to,
Mhm.
like show him love or whatever.
I love
But
Flame.
but he's like, if my kid's gay and they want to get married, I'm not going to condone that shit. I'm not going to the wedding. I'm not going to condone that because I don't want that to carry on in my family. Like it's okay. Like it's like
Mhm.
I'm like, bro, you can't control whether your kid is gonna be gay or
You
not,
can't.
and you
And
and you not supporting them is not gonna make somebody else down the line not gay. Like, what? I
I
don't. His
think.
thought, his brain is, and when it comes to LGBT, he's just homophobic. It just is what it
Mhm.
is. There's nothing more to
Mhm.
it. We can't explain shit to him. He can't get no help. Okay, there's nothing we can do to help Boosie, little Bootsy, like B Scott says, little
I
Bootsy.
think. I think Boosie is uninformed about it for sure, and I think that he is unwilling to compromise his ideals or like what he how he views it. And I think he thinks it's a. I think the major problem is he thinks it's a choice. And I
Yeah.
think that because with that standpoint, no matter what you say to him, if he thinks it's a choice, then he thinks he has control over it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think at whatever point he understands that it's not something somebody's choosing, then I think it would be easier to for him to understand what's happening. But as long as
Mm-hmm.
he thinks that you're choosing to be gay and you're like, yeah, I've made a decision, because he said something the other day. I saw a video of him. He's like, they got the boy out here kissing boys when little boys out here trying to be straight. I'm like, ain't nobody trying to be straight.
Right. No
You
one's
know,
no one's trying. No one's trying to be straight, and no one's
right.
trying to. I mean, like signing up to be part of the LGBT community, or if you are just born as you are, okay,
Mhm.
it's not an easy choice. You have to deal with everyone else judging you who's not like you
Right,
or don't understand you. And then
right,
you have to deal with your own judgment, with your own
right,
self.
right.
And so I think that it's unfortunate that he thinks that way. There's no saving him. He's done forever. Like seriously, there's nothing that can help him understand. Hopefully the baby understands. And
I think
hopefully
he
he was
does.
receptive to the information that he was given so that he
Mhm.
can move forward and not, say dumb shit.
I don't think the baby is homophobic. I think he was. I think he was uninformed. I just.
Or
I would
somebody
say
asked him to suck his dick in the parking lot, and he was triggered.
or that.
One or the other. Like something
Well, I
happened.
mean, he wears sparkly belts and no shirt consistently.
Listen,
Um,
why did I not know that the baby was really out here in the diaper? Why did I not know that?
I told you that.
I didn't know that until you told me.
I,
I refuse to look up any previous videos or I can't do it. I can't even see this man like that.
why? That's how he wants to be seen.
Not
That's how he wants.
anymore. He's graduated outside of the diaper.
You got to pull up on now.
Right. And that's one thing another someone else said, and I can't remember who it was. I was listening to a podcast who was talking about this.
Mhm.
But they were talking about how these rappers who are super homophobic wear
Mhm.
all these gay designers. They
Yep.
wear Gucci, they wear Balenciaga, they
Right.
wear
They were Versace. Like,
Versace.
what are
And
you
I'm
talking
talking about
about?
the most high gay, flamboyant of all these designers.
Right.
But they proudly rock them. And they say nothing about this.
I think it has a lot to do with not really understanding anything. You it's one of those things where you're regurgitating something somebody's told you. You may not even believe the bullshit. You may be like, oh well, I don't know. But my mama told me that gay people is being gay is wrong, and so I'm not gonna do this. But then the world said that I should wear Versace, and I don't really know who Versace is. I don't know anything about Versace. I don't know anything about Louis Vuitton. I don't know anything about Christian Louboutin. I don't know anything about any of these things. But it's expensive, so I'm gonna put them on my body. And my gay stylist and my gay photographer and my gay music director are telling me I should wear these things. So I'm gonna do what these gay men are telling me to do, or these gay women are telling me to do. And I don't really have any animosity against them. I just know that my mama told me this, and I love my mama. You know?
Yeah, I mean
And so I
that
think it's
the
more that.
conversations when it comes to Lil Bootsy in particular is no, and but I do think that these conversations need to continue to happen. Lil Nas X getting mentioned. Why are Lil Bootsy? Why are you mentioning Lil Nas X, child? Why?
Because okay, Lil Nas X is a challenge to the hyper masculine identity that hip hop has embodied for like decades, right? So if you are a major hip hop artist, you got all the bitches in your video, all the money, all the champagne, everything's pouring out of the sky, and you are the most straight man ever. But this young man is a rapper, is a black man, um, is not is not pretending to be straight, ain't trying to be anything other than as gay as he can be. He said, I want to be. They said, what's gay? Did you want your video to be gay? He's like, yes.
Hella gay.
You're hella gay. Just give me
Hella gay, and let's also discuss the holy trauma.
right, exactly. And so I think that is a challenge to an ideal that Boosie is still standing on. Like I'm a rapper, I'm from the streets, and to be from the streets, you got to be fucking hella bitches and shit like that. And so it's just that idea that that Nas challenges that a lot of these rappers are not prepared to have that conversation. They don't want to have a conversation that you can be a rapper, be gay, be black, be young, and still be a man.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want to have that conversation.
Right. And I think that there's another part of the conversation about the gayness being on television or being televised that people don't want to hear. And I think
Right.
that's the part. It's like, why can't we just be inclusive? Why does it? Oh, if I'm not gay, why does a gay man on TV bother me? Unless you are easily influenced, or unless you are suppressing some feelings that you didn't want to be able to be refreshed, essentially, because you have been, you've been away from this type of um, anything in front of you. So you didn't see this in front of you, so you've been suppressing these ideas, and perhaps that's the real problem.
That is a problem. That's the problem that a lot of these fellas are having. That they have these desires because they're under the idea that sexuality is a static thing and that you're either gay or you're straight.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you even remotely think a man is attractive, or if you would have done anything, any experimenting, any like thing outside of pounding pussy, then then you gay. And it's not about emotional connection. It's not about anything like that. And so some of these guys have these desires, and they are ashamed of themselves for having these desires. And so they are going to attack anything that reminds them that they have these desires.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna affront those things and say, okay, nah, fuck that. Get this motherfucker out of here. I don't want to be reminded every day that I kind of want to suck my homeboy dick.
Oh. So, shout out to Neurokarma. She said, but the gay community is too damn sensitive. Yes, I said it. People can have their opinions both ways. Now, there's one thing about having an opinion. There's one thing about being racist, right? We know that, we know that there's a certain group of people who don't freaking like you ERs at the end and all of that, okay? With the N at the beginning, okay?
Right.
There's a lot of those people. There's one thing about saying, hey, I'm not okay with I'm not gay. I'm not interested in seeing anything gay. It's against my religion, blah blah blah, whatever the situation may be. Versus saying all gay people are bad and they're trying to make everyone else gay and they're trying like it's a different conversation. And that's where that's where the conversations have to come up to have an understanding.
Mm-hmm. Now, I would disagree. I would disagree with that. I think that the LGBT community is not too sensitive. I think
they are sensitive. Go ahead.
I think that Black people are too forgiving. So, like, people say crazy shit about Black people all the time, and we be like, "Oh, well, it's a joke, freedom of speech." Man, fuck that. I think that Black people should be as triggered every time somebody says something about a Black person or our culture or our personhood or our skin color or anything like that. as gay people are, because when they do that shit changes. But we'd be like, oh, well, I don't want to be too sensitive. Fuck that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I think that it's not about being too sensitive. Like maybe sometimes like you have freedom of speech, but maybe sometimes you just shut the fuck up.
Or maybe there's a certain group of people who are just more outspoken.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that has to be. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that has to be deal with the LGBT community. So another thing that Nora Karma says is that my child should not be subjected to a man and a woman's sex, not same should not be subjected to a man and woman's sex, not same sex.
So she don't want no sex.
She don't. Right.
She don't want no sex. She don't want a kid to see no sex.
This is
and
the
I'm
thing.
okay with that.
Right. Kids should not be subjected to anything that has to do with sexuality in the first place. However,
I agree.
Okay. However, when y'all people, okay, who have children, control what your children watch. Okay. Now, if your kid is on YouTube and your kid's watching, Lil Nas X, it's freaking on the stage or kissing a dude, that's your problem. You should have blocked that shit.
Here's the thing about that. So it's not just Lil Nas X. There are shows, cartoons that who are now including same-sex relationships in the cartoons, same-sex attraction.
Now, relationships is too much. Okay.
So like there are like She-Ra, for instance, on Netflix is a cartoon for little girls, and most of the women in the show, most of the little girls in the show are lesbian, are same-sex attracted. And so they're going through that, and the show is billed for like Y7, young children. And so that's kind of what's happening. And so I think that some parents are saying, hey, my kid is young. They don't have an idea what a sexuality is. They don't have sex, so they don't have a sexuality. You know what I'm saying? Can we just have little girls being friends on TV, or little boys being friends, and not make it about that?
Right. They should definitely make it sexually neutral. Like, we didn't know who the hell maybe She-Ra liked He-Man when we were little, but it wasn't no serious situation. Now I understand that they want inclusion, because there are kids who are born gay, and that just is who they are. Okay, child, that's just what it is. Right. Now when it comes to, and I'm sure that they're trying to make things inclusive. However, they do not need to identify sexual contact, sexuality when it comes to kids shows. I that's not okay. Like,
and I don't agree with that. I don't agree. I agree with what you're saying. I don't agree.
Now we can talk about gender. Why can't the cartoons just be sexually neutral? Why do we have to know that they're bisexual?
Right.
and these kids are 7 or 8 years old. Like, why do we have to know that? Now, if there's a kid that's flamboyant or something, or an androgynous or something like that on a cartoon, because they see this other kid at school who's androgynous as well, like, that makes sense. But we don't need to identify sexuality.
I think I agree with that. Like, and I think that's a lot of parents' problem. But they use stuff like Lil Nas. They go to the extreme. So like, oh, Lil Nas X. Well, my kid don't listen to Lil Nas X. He's not watching fucking a grown man kiss another grown man. Now I do have a problem, and not a problem, but I do take issue with these little kid shows, and it does feel like they're trying to teach or to, like, program your child to feel a certain way about a certain thing. And I understand that as a parent of three.
Lil Nas X is a grown ass man. He just bought his first home. No. I'm sorry. Let me refer to some of these comments. Lil Nas X is a grown ass man. Okay, he just bought his first house and his first Mercedes Benz. Okay, the Old Town Road is fucking gone. Okay, he's not that kid anymore. He's a grown ass man. So when people refer to him in terms of, talking about kids' sexuality shows, what's on TV, whatever, this dude's a grown ass man now. He's not the Old Town Road 17, 16-year-old kid that was bouncing around on the stage excited. So
and he also doesn't owe your child any explanation about who he is, and he's not responsible for what your child is understanding and picking up. That is a parent's responsibility. And so if you don't want your kid to see it, don't turn it on. Monitor what your kid is watching. I monitor my kids' phones, they tablets. I know what's on their TV. My TV got all kinds of blocks on it. You know what I'm saying? They can't even get out of one Netflix thing to even get into my account without a passcode. Because I know what kind of kid I was. And I was very, very interested in what was happening with the grown-ups.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
nosy ass.
Yep. So that's me. I'm saying so. I understand that, and so I think that it's 100% a parent's responsibility. It's not Lil Nas X's responsibility. It's not fucking Netflix's responsibility. It's not fucking Disney's responsibility to teach your children. It is your responsibility,
Right.
and if you don't want them to hear it or see it or understand it or be a part of it or understand that the world is different than what you're raising in your home, and you want your child to have that mindset where they're like, "This is all I see. This is all I understand," and then you need to be in control of that. And blaming somebody else because you don't want to manage your child is not a cool move,
Right.
in my opinion.
Okay. We can close the case on that.
Mm-hmm. So, can we talk about Kanye West?
We can talk about Kanye.
We can talk about Kanye West just for a little bit.
Just for a little tiny bit. We can talk about Kanye.
Can we talk about West? Okay, so he finally released Donda. I have not listened to it. I'm gonna be honest, I probably won't listen to it. It's 26 songs long. And there's like part 2s on there that don't have a part 1. I'm not here for that. I'm 26 songs, it's a lot of songs. I got 3 kids, I gotta cook dinner. I don't have
You ain't got time for it? You ain't got time
for that. I don't have time for Kanye to figure out what Kanye is talking about in 26 songs, for him to tell his story in 26 songs. I don't have energy for that.
I mean, maybe he wants you to listen to it over time. Perhaps that's what it is. Over time, he wants you to listen to whatever he got going on.
I'll listen to it in February. That's what I'll wait till February, and I'll listen to one song a day and make it through February, listening to the Donda album.
Okay.
So we got to address some of these features. We got to address some of the people has on there. Some people he didn't include.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll talk about some of the features. People are upset about him and Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, because isn't he like a rapist?
Right, we reported on that. We talked about him being alleged. Where did I go?
You there?
Okay, I'm here. What is going on? Talked about him being oh shit. Sorry, y'all.
Looks like you frozen. You frozen a little bit. So if you want to turn your cam off and turn it back on again, we could try that.
Okay.
There we go.
So Marilyn Manson was reported to be a serial rapist by his ex-girlfriends, ex-fiancés, women he's worked with, and then he's a Satanist. So good old Christian Kanye.
Right. Rapping about Jesus is Lord and all of that good stuff. I'm confused as well. Like it's one thing to want to include different genres because I feel like that's how his brain works. Okay. Like he definitely wants to include different genres. He probably listens to rock and roll. He probably listens to heavy metal. He probably listens to whatever. Right. So he's like, oh, this is gonna be everything. I'm gonna get Marilyn Manson. I can see Kanye like, yes, I'm gonna get Marilyn Manson to participate in this, and this is gonna be awesome. But did he not remember that he's a freaking devil worshiper and that he's a rapist? Because I'm confused.
He's a devil worshiping rapist, allegedly.
Right.
And he had a listening party. And so people were like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you didn't put these people on the album, but you're going to put the devil-worshipping the devil-worshipping rapist, and have him at the listening party and brought out, what was it, him and the baby. So people was upset about both of those.
Right.
Like, the baby and I don't know why they were so mad about the baby. Like, whatever. What the fuck ever. But, like, I was a little confused by the Marilyn Manson feature. Because Marilyn Manson has lost his manager, his management team. Record label has disconnected themselves from him, and so can I say, just side note, y'all knew he was a rapist prior. Like, y'all didn't just find out he was a rapist. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just find out he was a Satan worshiping rapist. But then when other people find out, you're like, I can't be friends with him. And I gotta get out of here. Well, if nobody knows he's a rapist, it's cool. I don't know. I think that I have a problem with that, but that's a whole other thing.
Right. Listen, we got a video caller on the line real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and add them to the stream.
Hey.
Hello. You're live on the Shady Ass Tea. What's going on?
Who is this?
Hello
there.
Okay, so I wanted to be able to say this in regards to Lil Nas X. I have no problem with people having their own creative niche as artists, okay, as music people, anything that you're doing is your personal life, most definitely. Mm-hmm. But at this point, social media is not something that you can control totally with your kid, okay? Because it pops up on the radio, it pops up on their computers. It doesn't even matter if it's them singing. They could be watching something totally different. It's sick people in this world that also add these things to children, and it over sexualizes them. And I don't believe that it's okay for a 8-year-old little boy to have on a halter top and booty shorts, just like I don't think it's okay for an 8-year-old girl to have
not your kid. Not your kid. Sure. But there are other kids, like for instance, we can go back to when we talked about months ago. We can go back. Right. We can go back to talk about Dwayne Wade's daughter. You know, like that kid literally in the wrong body. Like there's no.
Well, this is the thing, though. You are not able to go and drive a car at 8 years old. Why? Because you're not mature enough to drive the car. Okay. You are not able to go straight to college from kindergarten. Why? Because you're not ready for that yet. But you levels. Hold on. Allow me to speak. It's levels to different living situations in life. And that's
but I can tell you this. I love to wear Jordans, and I love to wear basketball shorts and FUBU long shorts and all that other stuff.
Yeah,
and we're not talking about kids driving. Okay, we're not talking about 8-year-olds driving. We're talking about kids making decisions. However, we're on the same page. We're not against each other. We're on the same page.
If you're against it, I just want to be able to.
We're on the same page, and of course, some things pop up. But Lil Nas X is not the reason. That's what we were talking about. Is that Lil Bootsy was talking about how Lil Nas X is making him
on the same level as extreme as it's too much, and that's where I feel like.
Boosie too much.
That's where I feel like that's when we should. There's where there's education, being able to make sure that people understand the differences in people, in personalities, in social living situations, in things like that, because these are things that we are now coming about. Just like I was talking about the education thing. In learning, you develop the learning. And in developing the learning, it's the same thing with people that have not had gay people around them. It's the same thing with trying to learn how to be able to make sure that you are not being disrespectful to people. That's why the cancel culture is not, I was agreeing with Sir Lawrence, where the cancel culture doesn't allow them to be able to speak their mind, because there's other people that feel that same way. And instead, now they are scared to say something because everybody wants to. Right.
It's delivery. Like, it's one thing, like me, there's some things I just never understood about studs. I'm sorry. I just didn't freaking get it. Okay. So you know what I did? I hosted a show with some studs on it, and I asked some fucking questions about what the stud shit is, and when did you sign up for this, and what made you want to wear that shit, and do you carry a dick in your pants? I had questions, okay, because I personally did not understand that lifestyle and why
Right.
you got like that, and the
And some
irony,
people
right?
would take
The
your questions to
irony
be disrespectful.
they were,
To say,
and the thing is, thank goodness it was such a great show, like one of my favorite shows, seriously.
truly, I'll
And
listen to that
it was
show.
the study. Listen to that studying 101. So it was Stud 101, and that was definitely one of my favorite shows. And
Yeah.
it was super informative, and it helped me understand because, like, I do love ladies. I just like them to look, dress, and act like
Well,
feminine ladies.
I want to address the idea that when you're 8 years old, you don't know who you are, or like you're not mature enough to know
Say that shit, sir.
Go ahead.
who you are. When I was 8 years old, I knew exactly who I was. The problem was my parents and the adults around me didn't want to accept the fact that I was who I was. And so they were not comfortable with me being who I was. And so they told me that that's not who I was. And
Understand
so
that.
you have to adjust yourself because you don't know yet. And so now I'm accepting because I'm accepting your leadership and your guidance over me. So okay, well maybe I don't know who I am, and so maybe I do need to do something different. And then I
And
grew up and I was like, wait,
I want to be
I've
able to
actually
speak
been
to
this
that,
person
please.
since I was 8 years old, and so
Right.
now I'm upset with my leadership because
Exactly.
they don't
we're gonna have to cut.
understand me.
We're gonna have to cut
Wait.
this
Give me
short
one.
real quick.
No
Christy,
problem.
we'll
Let
let
me
you
be able to
finish.
say this last statement, please. To your statement, I am almost 40, and I still don't know who I am. So
Actually, you better say that
in
shit.
learning,
Mhm.
people, you got to realize that they didn't know no better either, and it's
It's
about us being able to get together so we can be able to overcome this trauma that you spoke about.
I think the holy trauma, right? Which is, by the way, let me go ahead and plug this again. I'll be doing a series on the holy trauma. Okay, the traumas that we experience from being raised as Christians, some of the things that we weren't able to do, openly,
Right.
and communicate with certain people certain ways. Anyway, all that I'll be doing that series. But fortunately for you, Christy J, you got a shorty who he all boy, okay, child. Like he ain't got
I get it.
you can't tempt him with shit. Okay, he just is what he is. But I think that he knew who he was, and that's just what it is. And he's okay with he's okay if someone else is different. He's
Right.
okay with other people being who they are. That's because you have had your awakening. We were in a situation where we were trained that this is the only way that you're supposed to be, and that's just what it is. So
Right.
you have had your awakening, which has allowed your kids to have an awakening, and that's where we are now. So yes, you're
Totally
40
agree.
yes, you're 40 figuring out who the hell you are today because of the incline of our awakening. So yeah, that's that.
Huh? I'm not
Or,
40.
I'm almost
I'm sorry,
40.
I mean 29. Child,
Thank
29.
Come
you.
on.
I
All right,
appreciate it, you guys.
thank you, Christy J. We about to get back into what we were talking about with
Kanye.
Kanye and his features and him leaving people out. Child, it's wild.
Oh, child. So since we're gonna talk about leaving people out, so okay, so I Soldier Boy. I'm sorry. Anytime I
Soldier
hear
was
Soldier
he was
Boy,
the first. He was the first to drop a comment about not being
right? No
not
one's ever
being
did
no.
anything before Soldier Boy. Okay. In the beginning, there was Soldier Boy.
Right, because he was the first at every single thing, child.
The Soldier's upset because he got left off of Remote Control. I think it's the same name of the song he got left off of. His verse was left off
Right.
of. And Kanye reached out to Soldier initially to be on the song, and then didn't include him on the album. And then Soldier now is just on the internet going crazy. He
The
went
internet,
live.
the internet, child.
On all on Obama's internets, going crazy. And so he called him, he called him all kinds of names, all bad names.
I have the clip. You want to play it?
Yes, come on, let's play the first few minutes of this live.
Child, he too much.
Don't play with him.
What kind of weed do you think that is?
Yeah,
I don't even know if it's weed or not, because Soldier Boy be having fake stuff.
it's Big Draco, nigga. Stop fucking playing with me, nigga.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Stop fucking playing with me.
I hate him so much. Did he drop the weed?
Kanye, you got me fucked up, nigga. Don't never get to calling my phone talking about do no song, do no verse, pussy ass nigga, and get to taking the shit out your first. Nigga, you could have called me lame ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Hold on, man. I'm finna screenshot this shit. We finna pull the text messages up. We finna go through the whole thing. Cause Kanye, boy, you lame as fuck, nigga. I'm busy, nigga. I got my own shit popping, lame ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Puss ass nigga. Nigga, She Make It Clap, #1 song in the world, nigga. I'm Ricky Morty, #1 song in the world. Bitch ass nigga, stop calling me, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Nigga wasn't even worried about no fucking Kanye. Lame ass, weird ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. You a hoe, nigga. Fuck you talking about, ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Lame ass nigga. Nobody give a fuck about none of that shit, boy. You get to call on my phone, bitch ass nigga. I don't even know you, bro. Pussy ass nigga. Fuck you talking about. Nobody give a fuck about no Kanye, nigga. Lame ass nigga. Fuck you talking about. Who the fuck is Kanye West, nigga? I'm Soldier Boy. I'm Soldier Boy. I don't give a fuck about no Kanye West, nigga. Pussy ass nigga. Fuck you talking about. Bitch ass nigga. Don't get on my phone asking me about nothing, nigga. You got me fucked up. Well, I don't know no fucking Kanye West. We don't listen to no fucking Kanye West in the hood, nigga. Bitch ass nigga. Weird ass nigga. Fuck you talking about. Puss ass nigga. Bro, you should have never called me, bro. Fuck you talking about. Don't call my phone, lame ass nigga. Nigga, you a bitch. Nigga get to calling my phone, bro. I wasn't even worried about you, bro. Oh, God, I don't know you. I don't fuck with you. Nigga, fuck you, nigga. You got to call.
Listen,
Okay.
this the thing though. First of all, let's talk about how Soulja Boy is fucking hilarious. Okay. Like he's freaking hilarious, like for real. And he said what he said. What's your thoughts, sir?
I think that he was never going to be on the album. I think that the text messages we don't see are that we're going to say, okay, well, I need you to be my publicity man for this album. I need you to be talking about it because people love when you start going crazy. And I think he's using Soulja as publicity for the album.
I don't think so.
I don't think he's actually mad. I really don't.
I think
it's fake.
I think that Kanye sent him the track. That's the part that makes it like maybe because he did send him a whole track that's not like that's unreleased track.
Mm-hmm.
You sent this man a blank track. I feel like he probably did try to make it seem like because Soulja Boy does have he has had 2 #1 hits in the past couple of months. Like so I think that Kanye was trying to be strategic and have him on the record. Right? I think that was for real, but his verse just didn't match the record the way that he wanted it, and he left it off and then try to blame it on the record label. That's the thing that was the BS. Like why you try to blame it on the record label? Like that's some bullshit.
The label released his album without his.
He could have just told Soulja Boy like, "Hey man, this not gonna make it. It's not what I'm looking for." But he did send him a blank track that he created. That he that was not mastered, that was not locked in or copywritten at that point. So he probably was trying to get him on the track.
I just think that Soulja. So going under the assumption that this is not a publicity stunt, okay, which I firmly believe it is. Soulja's crazy is absolutely showing, and I just think like you can be upset, but I think that I never understood like talking to a camera, yelling at somebody who's not there. It just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't
Well, he
feel
had
like
his
a natural
fans on
thing.
there. He had his
I
fans on
know.
there, and
I
they were buying
understand.
badges.
They y'all have a good night. They was buying badges.
I'm just saying. You know, he did have his fans on there, child. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And then I mean, like everything. I don't know. The boy, the Soldier Boy, and Soldier Boy's not the only one that's upset though. He's just the most vocal about being upset. He's definitely the most vocal.
There are
about it.
several people that are upset about. There are several people that are upset about the whole situation with Kanye and the shenanigans and all of this good stuff.
Yeah.
And I just don't like that he lied about the label releasing his album without his permission, which we know damn well they ain't releasing no album from Kanye's without his permission. Especially after he's already done this whole three-month tour, stand in the garden and whatever else. Like, no, that's not what's happening here. So we know that Kanye released it, and he tried to release it before Drake released his album. Let's really talk about like the real thing.
Yes.
He needed to hurry up and get the album out before Drake put his album out. They already had some beef last week. He needed to hurry up and release it, which he released it on a Sunday. When's the last time you heard an album release on Sunday?
I thought it released on Wednesdays, right? Is when they release? Usually
Tuesdays, Fridays. That's when we get releases.
Okay.
He released his shit on Sunday. Okay, which means that he probably submitted it on Friday.
Yes.
So so Kanye, quit playing with us, okay? Like, don't.
Have you heard any of the tracks on it?
Yes, I listened to pretty much all the album. There was a couple of tracks on there that I really, really like. You know, there's some things on there that I'm feeling. But you also have to like understand his creative process and who he is. Mickey says Soulja Boy said he bought Atari. He did not say that. Soulja Boy said he is the owner of Atari. That's what he said, which they allegedly gave him 1 million shares of Atari, which does make him an owner. Listen, I don't know, like a couple thousand shares of Sprint. I own that bitch. Okay, I'll be like, listen, I'm an owner. I own Sprint. Shit, like I'll be saying what I'll be saying.
I may not be a majority owner.
Right, but I definitely own part of that shit. Like I definitely say I own these companies because I do have ownership in there. They send me my little letter so I can fill out and vote when it's time to vote or whatever we need to do because I'm an owner, goddammit. So what he said was that he owns Atari. His verbiage probably was trash. Okay, for sure. He definitely could have worded it in saying, hey, I own this much of this particular company. I did a deal with them. They gave me all of these millions of shares or tokens, whatever they were calling them at that point. And now I'm part owner of this place. So that's what he probably could have said instead of just saying, like, I'm the owner. Now, never once did he say that he was the CEO, which is what Atari responded by saying. They responded in saying, well, although we know being a CEO of Atari is a fun job, but this job belongs to so and so and so. He never said he was a CEO. He just said that he owns Atari. So I would think that if I had 1 million shares of Atari, shit, I own that shit too. And they better give me an office or something, a rental car, I don't know. Something's got to happen here. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to listen back to some more of what Soulja Boy had to say while we get Sir back on the line here. Soulja he's pretty freaking hilarious. That's all I got to say. And he'd always talking shit because he's the first to do everything.
You wasting my time, bitch ass nigga. Fuck you talking about. I got a whole album I'm working on. I got my whole career I'm working on. Bitch ass nigga don't. Bitch ass nigga. Nigga don't call my phone interrupting what the fuck I got going on. I'm doing good, nigga. Fuck you talking about. $6 million mansion, double lock colorness, Lambo truck, 2 #1 songs. Fuck Kanye, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. You a bitch, nigga. On God, I know the real you, nigga. I know the real you. I know the real you, nigga. When I was 16 years old, you first signed to Jay-Z, you was walking around with a backpack on, lame as fuck. Before Yeezus, before Yeezy, before Nike, before Adidas, when you first got signed, I know the real you. You a mark. You is a bitch. I looked at you face to face when you first got on. I did not know who you was. You was standing outside my van trying to get an autograph. I said, who the fuck is this nigga? Get this nigga away from my van. And ever since then, you start acting cocky, nigga, like you had a problem with me, nigga. You a bitch. When we was in the studio with Emma Rose, we did that RoboCop song. You took me out for that. You a bitch. Every time we got in the studio and worked, nigga, the song never came out. You been stealing my swag. You been stealing my flow. You been stealing my beats, my style for years, nigga. Fuck Kanye, nigga. On game. Weird ass nigga. And I don't want to hear nothing about no bipolar. I don't want to hear nothing about none of that, nigga. You weird, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga. Pussy ass nigga. How many times I've been in the studio with your bitch ass? How many times I've been in the studio with your bitch ass?
One question is that why, if he has all this backstory on Kanye, did he still go ahead and proceed to, wanting to be on this album? Like, I'm really confused and concerned. Yeah, so that's what's going on here. He's definitely bothered, Christy J. He's definitely bothered. Sir, you back in the game? We got you back in this thing.
I went dead. I had to run to go get my charger. I'm trying to be great, and batteries are not letting me be great today.
Well, you're back in action, so we could, sum this show up. Long story short, Soulja Boy mad. Chris Brown said that Kanye is a whole hoe. Not a half a hoe.
Not half a hoe, not 3/4, not 7/8.
A whole hoe.
A whole hoe. Out here on these streets. Now, Chris Brown said what he said.
So I'm curious to know, like, there's some backstory on some things that I guess went down. Shout out to DJ Envy from the Breakfast Club, but he was talking about how Kanye was a clown, this and that. But they were saying that there are some backstory, some other information where he did some clown shit allegedly, and that's why they're so upset with him. So I don't know, and I just think that he definitely lied on the label. Like, why you lie? Yeah. Just say your shit didn't make it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Kanye. Anytime I hear Kanye's name, I hold my breath a little bit because I'm hoping that it's not crazy. And I'm holding my breath in vain because almost every time it's some crazy shit. Mm-hmm. It is never like some reasonable, Kanye went and got a sandwich today. It's never no shit like that. It's like Kanye lied on the label, and then now he into it with Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. Like, what is happening in the world that Kanye West into it with Soulja Boy? What kind of world are we living in?
A hell of a world for sure. That is for sure. I do want to. I do think that there is like a special clip we have to touch on. Okay. Hold on, because we can't talk about Kanye at a time like this, where we are experiencing some more hurricanes and some things like that is going on in the world. I don't think that it's possible for us to pass over some things that were very important that Kanye did say for the culture. So we definitely about to tap into that real quick. Here's what Kanye had to say.
Where there was once city streets and thriving neighborhoods. I hate the way they portray us in the media. If you see a black family, it says they're looting. See a white family, it says they're looking for food. And you know, it's been 5 days because most of the people are black And even for me to complain about, I would be a hypocrite because I've tried to turn away from the TV because it's too hard to watch. I've even been shopping before even giving a donation. So now I'm calling my business manager right now to see what is the biggest amount I can give. And just to imagine if I was down there, and those are my people down there. So anybody out there that wants to do anything that we can help with the setup, the way America is set up to help the poor, the Black people, the less well off as slow as possible. I mean, this is Red Cross is doing everything they can. We already realize a lot of the people that could help are at war right now, fighting another way, and they've given them permission to go down and shoot us.
And subtle, but in even many ways more profoundly devastating, is the lasting damage to the survivors' will to rebuild and remain in the area. The destruction of the spirit of the people of southern Louisiana and Mississippi may end up being the most tragic loss of all.
George Bush doesn't care about Black people.
Please call.
Listen, when I saw that shit, when it was happening on TV, I can't hear you.
When we saw it in real time.
In real time, I couldn't breathe. I was like, the fuck. And the dude, Michael Myers, dude standing next to him, was trying his best to like keep reading the prompter, like I'm gonna keep being professional, the show must go on. And he was like rambling, I'm gonna call my business manager and see what I can give. And people was fighting other ways, and Black people was moving too. Like I'm like, bro, he was literally just pouring his heart out, and he was like, George Bush don't like Black people.
Period.
Damn. So yeah,
that was a classic moment. We had to revisit that. And shout out to everybody that's in New Orleans right now. Like our love, our prayers, our support, positive energy, healing energy, and vibes to all of you. Now it's time for you guys to press your legislature, press your local politicians to fix the fucking levees. It's been fucking 16 years? How many years has it been?
It was 2005, I believe, is when Katrina happened.
So why are we still dealing with this situation where levees are breaking and overflowing and so on and so forth after all of this time? Okay,
because
in
America
community
doesn't like Black people.
And on that note, I think that we've given you guys a lot of shady ass tea today.
I think so. It's good to be home, to be back.
It is. And I'm excited to be here next Tuesday too, 7 p.m. right here on hot7025fm.com. You gotta stay locked. Listen, we're about to launch some pretty cool stuff. And don't forget, I'm about to start recording this series, The Holy Trauma.
The Holy Trauma.
On my new podcast. I'm a new podcast, Time to Explain. Mm-hmm. So definitely want to get that in. Sir, you have anything to tell people before we check out?
No, I'm really just glad to be back. I'm glad to be home. It feels good to be locked in. It really does. I miss y'all.
Good. Well, listen, thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Shady Ass Tea with Sir and Carrice. And you can follow me on Instagram and every other social media platform at Carrice. That's ECARRICE. And that's the word on the street. Sir, where can they find you?
They can find me on IG at the Sir Armstrong, as the one and only. The Sir Armstrong, THE, just one E. I'm not a stallion or nothing. It's just one E. And I think I'm on Facebook too. Just Sir Armstrong on Facebook.
Perfect. Those of you who are out there, you're listening to us on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch. If you're listening on radio.co, you're listening on hot7025fm.com. Thank you so much. Click that share button and tell your friends about us. And don't forget, check back in with us next Tuesday, y'all. Next Tuesday, 7 p.m. right here on Hot 7025 FM. Peace.
Bye.